So, ladies and gents, welcome Amanda Laws.
The first instinct I had during the pandemic, well, but even right now, is to protect. It still feels all so surreal, the whole pandemic. At first, I was like literally glued to the news. So sort of the anxiety levels, were creeping up again. And I thought, actually, this is doing me no good whatsoever. And that has changed because, like I say, I think we've all learned to adapt. It sort of slowed everything down. Does that kind of make sense? That's one good thing to come out of this all is not to have that time pressure. And my job is a learning support assistant, and that's within a reception class. When schools were first told, obviously, it's remote learning, we had to pretty much change gear, shift everything the way we teach, and set ourselves up for remote learning. I've never used a selfie stick before, but you know what? I loved it. Online teaching, investigations, story time online. So it's very different. So I did a couple of weeks of remote learning, remote teaching, and then I went on furlough. And I found that really hard to begin with. Like a grieving process was something I absolutely love to have taken away, instantly, like it's gone. Partly I do the key worker school and part working from home in terms of providing that online content that we need. And that content has to be very diverse, And also while I'm in school doing the key worker school, I'll stay on and prepare ourselves for the possibility of reopening on June the 1st. Conflict with the unions, there's a lot of conflict with the local councils. It could be 11 councils have now said they're not happy to open. They don't feel it's a safe environment. I know my school is doing its utmost best to make sure that if and when we do go back, it will be as safe as it possibly can. But it's strange times. It's really strange times. Early years, they've got comfort blankets, they've got cushions, they've got rugs, they've got soft toys, all that's gone. Everything's being deep cleaned. There's a lot going on at school to prepare for the possibility of going back, but who knows?
One of the main things that I think would be quite good to understand is why reception and why year 1 and year 6?
Would love to know that answer myself, Josh. I don't know why the babies this age, is sort of a platform for your future education.
So it's the foundation.
Absolutely. So it's like a sponge. The brain is like a sponge. But there will be environments where how do you set the scene in terms of social distancing? When you're in an inner city school, but you've got no outside area, but you're trying to, sort of separate these play zones. Well, hold on a minute, I've got no play zones. The last couple of months has been very difficult because, very sadly, my nan fell ill just before the pandemic. Then we got to a time during the pandemic when we weren't out, she wasn't allowed any visitors in hospital whatsoever. That was torture. That was actually, there was times when I was literally breaking down with that. I could not, my head couldn't get around that. And what was really, really tough was her funeral, and watching a funeral online. The most surreal experience.
How's homeschooling gone?
Expensive. It's expensive, it's time consuming, I have to sort out lunch. What's that all about? Seriously?
Yeah.
Mum, really? Is that all you've got? I'm like, I'm so sorry. I really am. It's just to make sure that, that their well-being as children is happy. It's a happy one. We're in lockdown together. The last thing I want to do is provoke an environment because somebody hasn't done a bit of artwork, or they haven't done this, or they haven't done that. When I ask them that question, do you feel that your connections and stuff? They're like, no, not to instill. We've got to be very mindful that we don't instill our fears onto our children.